STL Youth Jobs is a program that helps today's youth gain essential skills to bridge the divide between the youth and the growing skills gap in the workforce. Here to tell us more is STL Youth Jobs Executive Director Frey. Is there a big gap between the youth and the jobs?
So it's been indicated by some statistics in more recent years. Employers in the St. Louis region are talking about a growing skills gap across youth and across the adult workforce. So actually in the past couple of years, regional employers have actually indicated that a skills gap is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, deterrent from their ability to hire the right type of workforce.
How did you define the skills gap?
Sure, and mostly in our case, when we talk about the skills gap, we're talking about soft skills, and specifically when you look at employer data, it also indicates that gap is really heavily related to a lack of the soft or essential skills that we talk about, which includes things like proper communication in the workforce, attendance and punctuality, ability to dress appropriately, ability to communicate with your coworkers, problem solving, teamwork, abilities to interact with your supervisor, managing conflict, those types of things. Those are generally the skills that we're referring to.
So when you over there at St. Louis STL Jobs, Youth Jobs, want to make sure that the youth come in and see you, and you put these things, you equip them with these skills so they can go out there and get the jobs.
That's correct, and our youth specifically, over 50% of them each year, this is their first time job experience. So not only are we filling a gap that exists between an existing workforce, as we're trying to train and equip youth that are entering the workforce for the first time with the skills that they'll need that are going to transfer into any job that they have. I think most of us would agree that there are things we learned in the first job that we had, even maybe in the summer of our 16th year of life, that those are skills that we still use today. And those are things that those soft and essential skills will carry on with you throughout your work life.
And we call it youth, and we're talking about children, people entering the workforce with their first job at 16 or 15, well 16 I guess. But you don't just stop in the teenage years, you actually go a little bit farther than that.
That's correct. So the youth that we're working with, eligible youth are ages 16 to 24. So we're working with a lot of high school age students, but also college age students, and also a lot of youth that are maybe not working or not in school and are looking for long-term employment opportunities as well.
And I'm glad you said not in school, because one of the things that you do is help students or children, youth, that may not even be going on to post-secondary education.
That's correct. We really try to meet youth where they are. There's a limited amount of eligibility requirement to join our program. You have to get in before the deadline, number one. You have to be within the age range that we work with, and you have to live in certain areas of St. Louis, which are mostly underserved areas of our community. And beyond that, we really try to craft an experience for youth that meets the demands that they're looking for.
And just an example, you will take a 16-year-old who's in high school that wants to get into the job force and help them obtain the skills and then help them find a job, because you have a relationship with a lot of employers in the St. Louis area. You will take a youth that maybe dropped out of high school that still wants to get into the workforce. You'll take a youth that has a child that is just really trying to get their life together, and you'll even take youth that go off to college, come home on a summer job. You'll do all of these things, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
And when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be joined by one particular young man who's been really helped a lot by the program, who's still in the program, in fact, and he's even in college. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by him. Stay with us at STL Live. We'll learn more about STL Youth Jobs after this break.